Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the People's Podcast, the classy, casual, cool version with myself, Miss Adrienne Fox, and my amazing, handsome, intelligent co host, Mr. Treble J.
Hey, we're back
Uh,
in the building, y'all.
Yes. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been giving us positive feedback. I don't care if it's only one person, two person. I mean, it's definitely more than that, but I really do appreciate all of the comments and all of the direct messages saying that we're doing a good job. That really means a lot to me. So thank you. Be interactive. Let us know what you want to hear. You know, if we're doing good, not doing good, whatever. I mean, this is for the people, by the people, for the people.
All right, y'all.
So last week, Angela Bassett and Regina King kissed, y'all. Oh my God. I said, "Ooh, what they kissing for?" But no, I thought that was so dope. Congratulations to Angela Bassett finally winning her Oscar. Like, that is
Major news
so
right there.
amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time coming. Like a really long time coming. The other thing that's really, really, really um hot topic right now is the entertainment industry and how the black actors or actresses are saying that they're not getting paid enough. Um, that it costs like so much. You know, Taraji P, she's been going viral and this has been like a nonstop thing. And it even came up that, Monique was talking about this years ago
Yep.
in comedy. How the men were getting paid so much more. The kings of comedy were getting paid so much more than the queens of comedy. And she took a stand back then. And I forget what movie she was in when she did an excellent job. Um, when she was the big girl mom, Precious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it right there.
she
That's a classic.
did amazing. You know what I mean? In that movie, and it sucks to see how talented we all are, and like it coming out like this that it ain't as glamorous as y'all think it is. Like these people are living paycheck to paycheck,
Yeah.
and like we kind of all have the same struggle these days, which it's disheartening. It's disheartening. Like, I feel like no matter how much money you make, it's never enough. Like, if you you could be making 100,000, but by the time taxes kick your behind
Yeah.
and the cost of living, inflation, and everything, like, it's just crazy that what they're experiencing on a macro level in the industry is the same thing that we're going through day to
To
day.
it. Yep.
Yeah. Um, it's sad. But we've been dealing with this for a long time, like a really long time. And just to drop like a couple like statistical facts on this, like women have made 20% less than men in general for the past 20 years. And of course, that's not talking about the money that black women earn versus white women. This is just like averaged across the board. And I'm pretty sure it was less than that further than 20 years ago. So women are really finding it hard to kind of like catch up financially to our male counterparts. And then I think it's something like for a black man versus a white man, they make 87 cents to every dollar that a white man earns.
And
So
it's a big difference. Like when you break it down,
it's a big difference. That's
large.
we're statistically averaging 20% less than our white counterparts. So we have to work that much harder to make ends meet, which sucks. And I don't know, like, how do you feel right now with the amount of money that you make and how things are slowly increasing? Because we're in two separate areas. You're down south
Yeah.
in Georgia, where it allegedly is cheaper to live,
It
right?
ain't horrible, yeah.
That's what I said. Allegedly, it's cheaper. And I'm in the DMV and I grew up in Philadelphia. So what are you feeling right now where you are?
It's like now down here, the cost of living, like the way they factor it in, is not the same as they do up north or like the West Coast. Like when they try to pay you a certain type of wage, you know what I'm saying, to maintain. More so down here, it's like everything is going up, but then people getting the same pay rate. And on top of that, even if you do have a decent job to a degree, like I've been with the same company for like 6, 7 years, it's still to a point to where now you gotta, take the money that you are making if it's decent or not, and then still gotta prioritize and maintain everything now because even if you was strategic before, especially down south to a degree, now you gotta be strategic and scale back on certain stuff because as your money staying the same, everything else going up, which everybody understand that groceries, cost of living, all that. It did used to be cheaper to, what I'm saying, live down here in Georgia to a degree, but with everybody shooting movies down here, with everybody coming down here, everybody migrating down to Georgia. It's like they almost accommodate the same way they doing, in New York, the West Coast. It's like the prices are going up, apartments, houses, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Even to the degree now, when you try to go rent a car, like everything has shot up to a certain degree, and like especially in Georgia, it's almost like your pay is still here. Everything else is up there, so you got to pick and choose sometimes to a degree. Like how you gonna manage and navigate through that. I get certain areas, you know what I'm saying, they kinda been used to that, like, for example, like the West Coast, you know what I'm saying, they consider it to be, high value anyway as far as, like, just making a living out there, like, you gotta have, like, you know, 100, over 100 plus K, like, just to maintain, you know what I'm saying, be stable, and I feel like, especially down in Georgia, like, it's almost beginning to be the same thing, 'cause at a point now, it's almost like being in an apartment is the same as almost paying to a degree a mortgage, you know what I'm saying, on a house or even
Mhm.
degree, you know what I'm saying, is even cheaper than that. And then on top of that, like the market and everything to do what we really trying to do to strive out here, it's continuing to increase. So even people that are in houses, prime example of Georgia where I'm at, and you do want to sell your house to a degree, it's 3, 4, 5 times the price of that, you know what I'm saying, to even get into another house. So it's like they got a lot of people down here that's stagnant in certain situations because you can't jump the gun financially because on the back end, then you know what I'm saying, it's a challenge to see, you know what I'm saying, how you gonna maintain that because if you sell your house in certain areas down here, like before they gentrify and it costs 200,000, you know what I'm saying, and you sell your house, you go in the same neighborhood across the street, whatever the case may be, about something else, and then that house either the same size as yours or to a degree. Instead of 200,000, it's 500,000 to buy that one. So it's just like it's a lot of navigating. I feel like down here in Georgia now, like financially, like we used to be the mecca. You know what I'm saying? Like to come and start over and like take the easy route. Everything financially, you know what I'm saying, free down here, so it's cheaper. Now it's almost like we hand to hand with what I'm saying, the West Coast and up north now. So like it's pricey everywhere you go.
Yeah. And let me let me add some terminology and some
Mhm.
context to a lot of the stuff that you're talking about right now. Like what you're talking about is inflation, right?
Yeah,
And a lot
yeah,
of us we feel inflation. We understand that things are costing more, but we don't really know, I guess, like the logistics, right? Like how do we get to this point? How do we avoid how much it sucks? You know what I mean? Like how do we prepare for something called inflation? Because it's going to happen regardless. So
yeah, yeah.
in 2023, the cost of living increased 3.4%. The year before that, it averaged about 3%, 3.1%. So if you're not getting at your job annual increases of 3% or more, you're still going to live paycheck to paycheck. So like say you started at a job 5 years ago and every year you average a 3% increase. You're not making any more money than you did 5 years ago because the same amount that you're bringing in is the same amount, or the increases that you're bringing in, the amount that you're going to kick out has increased at the same rate. So
Exactly. Very true.
you
Yeah.
you put in this time in and you're in these jobs, you're like, oh, I'm getting a 3% increase this year or 4%. But if you're getting less, now you're falling behind. You're getting to a point where you can't afford the cost of living on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Um, So you gotta think about that financially. What does that mean for you? And are you a single income household earner or double? Right? Now, if you have more than one income in a household, then this is a little bit easier. But the reality is it's a lot of single income households too. So we're literally fighting decline.
Yeah, cause then it's
And
like checks and balances. You're right. When you got two people in the household, even if it's a decent wage between the both of y'all, it's easy to navigate through everything
right.
to a degree because what you can't hit over here, especially if you're married or whatnot too, you know what I'm saying? And your significant other, you feel what I'm saying, can benefit on the other end. So it's a little more like it's a challenge, even with the economy with that too. But with inflation in the two-person household, I feel like it's a whole different, you know what I'm saying, feel to it. Like it hit different, you know what I'm
I
saying?
can't
Well, I'm talking about
I
actively,
can't
not
wait until I get me a partner and there's two incomes in this motherfucker. We gonna be rich.
hey,
I've been
that but
holding it down by myself for too long. Oh my god. Like I can't. Oh, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. That's the one thing that excites me about a new relationship is a two income household. I wouldn't care if you only made 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a year. That's money that I did not have access to
I mean,
before.
you're right. That's true. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's I don't like to use finances as a reason why we should be together. But our white counterparts and other races in general understand that. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Indian, Asian, they understand that there's power in numbers. And our community, we will abandon each other so quickly. And there are other repercussions, other, like bigger, we're talking about macroeconomic repercussions to the fact that our culture does not stick together, whether it's in business, whether it's in relationships. Like we are suffering greatly thinking that we can do bad all by ourselves. So and a fact that will help you understand that is half of African American households make less than $50,000 a year. So if you look up and down the street, and talking about this is an entire household, less than 50,000, and only 48% of African American households make more than 50,000. And you can only imagine, you know what I mean? Like those are probably the two income or like married couples or whatever
Yeah.
that's able to,
You in
to stick together and do that.
yeah, you're right. Or you in a certain field, so it's like it balance out automatically financially. You're right. It all depends on
Yeah.
it's all factors with that. You're right.
Yeah. So personally, we gotta figure out where we need to make these investments, right? Whether it's making investments in each other, making investments in ourselves, making investments in our community. You can't do it by yourself. You know what I mean? It's a lot of things in life. Like you can't make a baby by yourself, right? You cannot sustain life by yourself. So you have to figure out who the players are going to be on your team. You got your mom or your dad or your mom and dad. You got siblings, you have partners, you have children. Like you got to look at the people around you and figure out like what are y'all going to do? You got to come up with a plan.
It makes
Um
sense because I feel like even to your point about what you just said about you know what I'm saying like in our community in our culture, like prime example, like not to deep dive into it, but like with the whole building what we building here that y'all know about the networking, entertainment, podcast, and all that. Even financially, to a degree, with that, if you don't invest in what you're doing and you don't have a team, and you know what I'm saying, you're not doing everything collective. You're right. It's hard to you know what I'm saying keep the checks and balances. But I feel like um, especially in our culture, we got to learn to work together more than tear each other down. And I feel like it's a lot of what's the word? I feel like it's more envy than support. So that when we're talking about these other dynamics, especially in the entertainment industry, especially in the music industry, especially in, what I'm saying, any form of industry where like as African Americans, I feel like we lead in or we take control in, you know what I'm saying, to a degree. It gotta be more of us supporting each other because when it come down to it, you feel what I'm saying, when you go to these corporations or you go to these different, you know what I'm saying, situations, and they investing in you. Who is it most of the time? It's other races, you know what I'm saying, to be completely honest, that's investing into what we doing, not our own culture, you know what I'm saying, investing into each other and building with each other. And I felt like, especially what we doing now is important for that because this is the way we start changing the narrative before the finances and stuff coming in. If you're investing into what you're doing and you building it, you know what I'm saying, collectively together, like in our own African American culture, and then we presenting these same ideas and stuff, you know what I'm saying, to them, that's a better way of doing it than just trying to, you know what I'm saying, get it. I feel like get a handout to a degree because we got to learn how to disagree with certain stuff too and still get along. We got to learn how to, you know what I'm saying, have different opinions, but still get along. We got to learn how to share ideas, you know what I'm saying, even though our ideas may be different and blend them together because you're right. I feel like the major problem is every other culture know how to get it right and handle business and, you know what I'm saying, like cultivate some on a bigger level except for us. It's always we clashing or I don't want to see him make it bigger than me. I don't want to see her do more than me. But then you're looking at all the other cultures, you're right, the Indian culture, the Asian culture, you know what I'm saying? Uh White America, all of that to where when it's time to get a job done, everybody gonna come together regardless. It don't even matter if you disagree, your family ain't getting along, whatever the case may be. Like they gonna always come together. That's why a lot of people say too, even to a degree, especially in like the Asian community, they businesses is always locked in together. And then they even come into our areas, you know what I'm saying, urban America and all that too, and still thrive because at the end of the day, in order to elevate like how we trying to do, especially in inflation, you got to be able to do it together. And the only way to do it together on the biggest scale is with your own community. Like they've mastered it. I feel like at the top it got to be the Asian community to a degree, and then you know the other two right after. But they got the formula of how you supposed to piece it together, you know what I'm saying, to succeed. So that if something fall on the wayside this way, you got the rest of the family in the Asian community. You got 3, 4 restaurants they own. They got a whole block that you know everywhere in America. I feel like got Chinatown and all these other areas too, to where that whole block and that whole community gonna thrive. If they fall off, we gonna pick you up. If the family do this, the wife do that, the children do that, like they just, you know what I'm saying. I feel like they a major stepping stone in what you know our community as a whole should be like with them same principles because they doing it right.
I think I think what you need to address is like the foundational characteristics of those communities, and it's discipline first
Yeah,
and foremost.
for
Like
sure.
they work hard and they're not too proud to be cooking for a living. You know what I mean? Like they're not too proud to do certain things, and I think I don't know what it is about our culture where we feel like we too good. Like you would rather sit on a corner and sell drugs, which the
Yeah,
drug game now belongs to white people because it's pharmaceuticals that are running that game now.
hey,
Um,
spit that game to him. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, whew,
It's the truth.
but
No, you right.
you would rather sit there for hours and make pennies on a dollar
Yeah,
off of weed or something like that. That's legal now. Again, the white man is running all the drugs now. They're taxing it like it's over. It's over.
yeah.
You need to change your focus, and you need to get out of your head that you're too good to do something that's going to benefit your family. Oh, I don't want to work for the white man. I don't want to pay taxes. Guess what? Everybody fucking pays taxes. Everybody. Okay? All the way down to the bottom, all the way down to the top. You don't want to work and you don't want all of the guess what? Even when you go to the grocery store, you're paying tax, like you're going to pay taxes. Like there's no beating the system. Okay. You done claimed everybody else kids. Now you got this IRS debt. They have to, oh, I don't want to get a job because if I do, they're going to take all my money. If you've made any bad decisions in your life, they're not going to go anywhere. Okay. Those decisions, that tax debt, or when you got locked up for this, that stuff isn't going to go anywhere. And the system wasn't built for us. Okay. It's meant for us to fail. But in order to change your environment, you have to change your mind about what it takes to get there. There's nobody on social media right now that became a millionaire, that it happened overnight, that it came easy. that
Yep.
it didn't come with a little bit of investment, that it didn't come with hard work. Think about our idols. Who do we idolize in our community? Ball players. You think they wasn't shooting in the gym? You think they didn't have coaches that looked out for them and helped them get that pair of sneakers or help them get to that tournament or help them get to that scouting event at the local college or whatever so that they could be seen? You think they wasn't putting the extra hours in because again, we make 20% less
Yep,
than our
and
counterparts.
the parents working 2, 3 jobs, that's another one too as well, you know what I'm saying? When you talking about the items that we're looking up to, because everybody say, "Well, I'm here now, but I didn't used to be here." You feel what I'm saying? My mom worked 3 jobs, my dad worked, you know what I'm saying, for, 80 hours a week, whatever the case may be. So like it's a lot of different factors I feel like when they come into play with that people got to understand too on a deeper level that you
Yeah.
got to do
You're
a lot
going to
to
you're
get.
going to have to work hard. You're not going to be able to get you're not going to be able to beat what we have coming if you don't change your mind about what it's going to take to literally survive. I'm not
Yep.
even talking about be rich or what you idolize on social media and the design. And then that's another thing. Like you said, the discipline. As soon as we get some money, what do we do? We got to prove to the world that we're not the bottom of the earth.
Yep.
And we buying cars, we buying jewelry, we buying bags, we buying shoes, we buying designer. For what? Who are you impressing? Who are you impressing? You're taking the little bit of an upper hand that you get, and we do it every single time. We do it every time. I have had to learn in my line of work and what I do. I'm around a bunch of people who got money, who've had money for a long time. And vicariously through that, they have nice cars and they have nice suits and they have big houses. Okay. And they can afford that. And I felt for a long time that I needed to buy things to feel like I fit in that room, that my hard work wasn't enough, that my brain wasn't enough, that I needed the car that matched their car, that I needed the nice things to match their nice things so that my voice mattered. So I get it. I get it more than anybody. Like, why, when we do get that little bit of money, that we feel like we need those things. And the reality is, you are enough. You are enough. And we got to get out of that mindset that we're competing with each other. We have to get out of the mindset that we're competing with our counterparts who are doing better. And we got to stay focused on the goal, stay focused on the mission. And that's making sure our kids is good, making sure that they're going to do better than us, focusing on that generational wealth. And how do we do that? You got to stop worrying about what other people think. You got to stop worrying about how you look or how you portray it or whatever. And you got to dig into yourself, focus on your goals, make a plan. Make a plan. And guess what? It's okay to know that you don't know what to do. It's okay. It's okay to admit that you don't know everything. I started out, I make six figures now. Yes, I've been making six figures for a few years. Okay. I started out as a receptionist, y'all. A receptionist. That stuff that y'all too proud to do, go get coffee, go print some stuff, go. I started out as a receptionist and then an administrative assistant with a bunch of white people telling me what to do all day long. And then I became an executive assistant where now I'm the right hand to a powerful person that's in the room. And all along the way, yes, your ego could be like, well, you supported mass and mass and mass, whatever. I've been learning. I've been learning how to move people. I've been learning how to influence process, operational efficiency. I'm a program manager now. Okay. I'm a project manager at an investment bank that does mergers and acquisitions in aerospace defense because I started out as a receptionist because I wanted to learn. When I went into the interview for the job that I have now, they said, "Well, why do you want to be here?" I said, "Because eventually I'm going to be something bigger and I'm going to run a company one day. And in order for me to run a company, I got to learn how it works from the bottom all the way up to the top." Right now, if somebody had the money, they could pluck me out of my job and invest in me to start a company and build it from scratch. I know about HR, I know about the finances, pipeline, marketing, all that stuff because I've sat in these rooms with these people and I've listened and I've learned for 10 plus years. 10 plus years. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to be willing to educate yourself and you have to be willing to start at the bottom. You have to. I cannot stress this enough. I really can't stress this enough. I just saw something on social media. It was either today or yesterday that a woman who worked for, I don't know if it was Outback, but it was one of those like chain restaurants for 20 years. And now she's a franchise owner. Now she's a franchise owner.
Yeah,
And we also have to stop believing that you're supposed to be rich in your 20s. We're stupid in our 20s.
yeah.
We don't know shit. You are a year and a half older than being a teenager. And look at all the teenagers in your neighborhood and see how dumb they are. Okay, your 30s, your 20s is when you make all the mistakes. Your 30s is when you kind of start figuring it out. Stop being so hard on yourself because you're not rich or you're only making a little bit of money. And I want to get off my soapbox. I really, really do. I feel like I'm talking too much this episode. But
You
you
gotta
got
speak.
to change. Yeah, I've been there. I've been there and I've grown so much. But it wasn't easy. Just like I just shed these tears, there were so many nights I cried. So many nights I cried because I didn't have enough money to feed my child. We are all experiencing the same things. Taraji P ain't talking the way that she talking because she's not experiencing the same thing. That woman wants to quit her job because she's not making enough. Angela Bassett is just now getting the recognition that she deserves. You know
After
how
years.
hard you understand? That woman is what? In her 60s, right? Well, she look good as hell. She look good as hell. She don't look her age, but she been at it for a very, very, very long time. And we give up. As soon as things are not going our way, as soon as things are a little tough, we give up. I quit. I don't want to do this shit no more. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. Guess what, baby? We all tired. We're all tired. Trouble. How tired are you?
Oh shit, I'm.
How
Man,
tired are you? No, seriously. Talk to give
I,
me an example
I,
of where you just
I, I'm just be very, you know what I'm saying, transparent with y'all. Like a lot of this shit that I feel like I done did over the years to try to build up is like extremely hard. And I think to a degree people don't understand, you know what I'm saying, the type of work that it takes to do everything I'm talking about just on a daily basis of what I have to do in general. I feel like a lot of people focus on instant gratification so much they don't understand, you know what I'm saying, the real work it take to do certain things. And they don't like people don't really speak their truths on, you know what I'm saying, a lot of stuff that they go through. And I've said this before, you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna say it again. Like I've definitely been in a situation. I've been the type of person where I done hit rock bottom. I'm talking about to the degree like I done lost everything before. You know what I'm saying? Especially in my early 20s to a degree when I thought I knew a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm just focusing on like what it really take to succeed out here. And to the degree that you can't really worry about, you know what I'm saying, what other people think. And you gotta, you know what I'm saying, grind and you gotta put in the work that you gotta put into it because it's not Like a lot of times, even with me, doing this now, with this network stuff and just the everyday grind. Like sometimes I don't sleep like that. Sometimes I don't have time to do a lot of stuff. A lot of times, even though I feel like I make decent money now, I gotta make certain decisions, certain sacrifices, you feel what I'm saying? On top of that, I do have a kid too as well, which I'm still dealing with that situation. On top of that, I'm still recovering from certain things before because I don't think y'all understand the importance of if you really want to go after something, you really want to chase, your dreams and certain stuff, you're gonna go through a lot of bullshit along the way. And when I say like a lot, you feel what I'm saying? And like that's coming from like, a real vulnerable place because I need a lot of y'all, to kind of get it. And that's the whole point of, like building this show and building these conversations and being authentic with y'all, because y'all gotta understand that, the road ain't it's not a smooth road out there. And you're gonna go through certain stuff. And I don't feel like people need to suppress what they got going on or feel like you too prideful, to go through or experience anything because like Adrian said, we go through a lot of shit. Everybody. I don't care if you're the richest person in the world or the or the poorest person to a degree. Like we all got emotions, we all gonna go through certain things and this shit take work. And the one thing that I said, even when I started all this is that I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit and I'm not gonna make it seem like, y'all not gonna go through stuff. Like when I say I done lost everything, I done had my car repossessed before. I done lost, you know, a place where I lived at before. I done been dead broke, I done went nights before, like I said, not eating. I done, had to thug it out, before just with a lot of stuff, man, like financially to a point where I had to build myself all the way back up. I'm talking about, I ain't saying like, having a lifeline and certain shit. Like I did a lot of shit from scratch to a degree that I feel like when y'all listening and y'all seeing what we got going on, you got to understand that it's coming from a real place. I ain't never had no silver spoon and nothing. My peoples don't, you know, have money like that to a degree. Like I feel like if anything, a lot of people, especially in the African American community, everybody want to dream and do a lot of things, but don't want to put in the work to do a lot of stuff. And then once you get to that level, of taking off or doing everything, then people want to come on the back end, but y'all don't understand. You feel what I'm saying? Like the real shit people go through. Like at a time when I was struggling before, when I was trying to do this shit from the beginning, and I was staying, at my homie crib for a while, no bed, no shit in the fucking room, paying rent with nothing to lay my head on, but still, with a vision of grind to do what I want to do. Like that's the real shit that I feel like a lot of people don't be wanting to talk about that y'all don't understand. You feel what I'm saying? Like there's no such thing as instant gratification. You ain't looking on TV and seeing all these people acting or athletes or musicians, whatever the case may be. It ain't coming out of thin air. And the same way with Taraji P and other people too. Sometimes you gotta put on a face to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get out there and do what you gotta do to make a living whether they ain't paying you enough or not, or you know what I'm saying, belittling you the whole nine. So I understand the whole concept of where she coming from with that too, and like people, y'all lack like the humanistic side of stuff. Y'all think it just because it's glitz and glam that everything all good, but like the shit don't work like that. The only thing is with celebrities and stuff to a degree, they can make stuff look good, and as soon as them cameras off and everything off, and you got to deal with real life stuff, y'all don't know what go on behind the scenes. And I feel like I feel like if social media was more realistic than, fake as it is now to a degree, then a lot of y'all will change y'all perspective on life. And I feel like it's important, that we're expressing it too, especially to the younger generation now, man, like the new generation, because I feel like to a degree, like they almost completely lost. Like don't nothing really matter, ain't no emotions towards anything. Everything fast paced, whether Imma get money or Imma take it from somebody. You know what I'm saying? I don't really like they don't really wanna work to a degree. Like, Imma do what I wanna do. If I don't feel it, I ain't gonna do shit or you know what I'm saying? I don't know what the concept is of working hard or certain stuff, but like, y'all gotta understand when we having these conversations with y'all and we expressing certain things, you know what I'm saying? It's not for attention, you know what I'm saying? It ain't for clicks, it ain't for likes. Like, this is real shit going on, you know what I'm saying, in the real world, and I feel like a lot of y'all need to understand that finances and taking care of yourself, taking care of your responsibilities. Trying to stay afloat out here. in the economy that's already struggling in certain shit, y'all gotta make certain sacrifices. You can't say you can't work at a certain job and you can't build up from the ground zero when you got 2 or 3 kids. You feel what I'm saying? You can't say, if you got parents that's struggling and they can't get it and you can't get out here and get a job or, start your own entrepreneurship, like just to take care of your family and certain stuff. Like a lot of shit that y'all complain about is because y'all in a generation now, you know what I'm saying, where you got a luxury of pretty much going anywhere and making any kind of money of doing anything. Like a couple of years back for a lot of y'all that's in the 2000s on up to a degree. Like I mean, when like they're not sugarcoated, you feel what I'm saying? A lot of y'all got it made, man, because a lot of these resources, even what she's speaking on, even though it is inflation, a lot of y'all can get out there right now and make a quick dollar, you know what I'm saying? The legal way of doing a lot of different things that we didn't even have access to before. Get in your car, drive, you know what I'm saying, deliver stuff, do all type of shit to a degree that if you put your mind
Yep.
to it, you can do it. A lot of y'all, you know what I'm saying, a lot of y'all not taking advantage of that shit. And I feel like you gotta y'all gotta understand what's real and what's fake. Y'all spend a lot of y'all time on social media with with shit that's polished up and looking good, but not really the truth. But y'all don't take the time, you know what I'm saying, to focus on the real world. If you sitting there making videos and doing all this type of shit, but then you wanna get attention, but then behind the scenes you can't even put food on the table, you ain't got a job, no car, shit like that. Like y'all gotta get y'all priorities right and you gotta get shit out the mud, man. Ain't nothing wrong with grinding from, you know what I'm saying, from the bottom to the top and letting people know about the
Facts.
journey along the way because a lot of y'all, I feel like that's where people get lost in transition, man. You see the shit on the computer, you see the shit across the board, and y'all just think, okay, oh, I could just get up the next day and I'm gonna be just like them. I could get out here and do that. But what they don't show y'all is everything from behind the scenes, and y'all got to get off y'all high horse, especially in our own culture, you know what I'm saying, in the black culture, period, and like put in the work to do what you got to do and not be hating on the next person, the man or woman, whatever the case may be. We got to lift each other up. We tearing each other down, and then we all in the same boat. We can't all be broke. We can't all be struggling. We can't all, you know what I'm saying, have multiple baby mothers, baby daddies, and all that, and then we all in the same, you know what I'm saying, hood mentality, crab in the barrel mentality. Like somebody got to step outside the box, you know what I'm saying, and elevate on certain shit. And it's just gonna take people telling y'all the real. Like sometimes you can't. I get y'all want to listen to the elderly now. Y'all want to listen to the wise people or whatever the case may be. So now we telling y'all the real shit. You know what I'm saying, from people that's of y'all age, that's in y'all same demographic, it's in y'all same. You know what I'm saying, community and all that. Like you got to put in the work, man, and don't be worried about what I'm saying, being vulnerable or grinding it out. Just like Adrian said, if she can go from where she came from, you know what I'm saying, and make it, then all y'all can do that. And I feel like that's the most important part I need y'all to take from this episode that it take work to do anything. Ain't shit you finna do out here, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be cut and dry. You gonna make it to the top without putting in any type of work. It's not realistic. It ain't possible. So please, when y'all paying attention to this shit on the internet, understand that it take work, period. And you gonna be tired.
Yeah.
You gonna struggle. You gonna go through obstacles, but you gotta fight through that shit.
Mhm. And I'm about to sit here and give you some information because it's a lot of people be like, "Oh yeah, I worked hard. I did this and this and this and this, and now okay. How?" Right? Now the next question is how? How did I get here? Okay. Step 1, resume. All right. If you don't have a resume, look up a template on Google. Okay. If you've never had a job before, okay, you also can go to the library and they will help you. Someone will help you build a resume. You have some, whether it's from high school, whatever. Step 1, resume. Step 2, temp agency. Oh, I applied to all these jobs. You ain't gonna get a job without knowing somebody. I know that. I know. Find a local temp agency. Okay. If you are in the Philadelphia, Delaware, New Jersey area, Apple One is a temp agency that helps staff jobs at the University of Pennsylvania exclusively. So if you in Philly and you need a job and you need a job quick, start with a temp job. Get some money in your pocket. Get a few months of experience. Get some stuff to add to your resume. Okay? They're looking to fill positions all the time. administrative support, drivers, parking attendants, whatever. Apple One is also Robert Half is another temp agency that helps you. You kind of need a degree for those. Maybe associates, they're geared towards accounting. Apple One is also in the DMV. If you're in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, they're also there. But look up your local temp agencies. Okay? What they do is they give you an interview. Hello, interview process. Next time, next stage. You got to be able to do an interview. And getting with the temp agencies, they'll interview you and go through that process. And guess what? They're going to ask you about yourself. They're going to ask your strengths. They're going to ask your weaknesses. They're not trying to tear you down. They're trying to help build your resume.
Yeah.
And what the temp agency does is they put all that stuff down in a resume format, and then they shop you around for jobs. Okay? You're not going to get the $1 million job off your first hit. Start with a couple contract positions. See what you like. You don't know what you like until you go try some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's
So if you go on the job route, that's a quick way to invest in yourself. All right? And you can have a job in as quick as 15 days, sometimes a week. I had a job. I would say it don't take any longer. At least for me, it didn't take any longer than 2 weeks to get a job. Now you can sit there for 2 weeks and you can complain, or you can go get the help. All right. That's first and foremost. Secondly, if you have the time, if you live with your parents, okay, and you got a kid, but you got a babysitter, there is financial aid for trade programs. All right. Now, what trade? Now, I think the women have figured out the LPN thing or home health aid, to get them
yeah.
into the nursing field. I think the women got that online. You always see the bitches
Okay.
some scrubs. or or in a security uniform somewhere working for Allied Universal.
That's facts. That security one a big one too. You're right about that.
Yeah, security is another one. If you don't have a record, you could go get your Act 235 and you could become an armed guard. Armed guards make $20 an hour and up. Um, there are a few trades that are projected to do some growth over the next year, and I want to just drop them on y'all. Aircraft mechanic. You don't necessarily need a degree, but and I will tell you, my son's father went to there's a school in the northeast, I think Bensalem area of Philadelphia. Um, it's tough. And you have to pass the test at the end of it. Same thing if you want to be a beautician, ladies, you want to be a esthetician, ladies, and you go to those little beauty schools. You get financial aid for that stuff. All right.
Yeah.
So don't be intimidated by the cost. You're gonna have to invest. You're gonna have to study. Okay. You're gonna have to invest in yourself. Change your mind, set
You gotta say
around
that
what
again. You gotta say that
you're
one
going to
again.
have to invest
Invest in
in
yourself.
yourself, okay?
Yeah.
Change your mindset about what it takes to be successful. You do not get rich without hard work, okay?
Impossible. Yeah.
It's not possible. So get out of your mind that it's going to be easy to get this shit done. It's not going to be easy. All right? Dig in. Focus, dig in. Aircraft mechanic, no degree. You come out, you pass that test. I think it might take you a year or so to get through all the classes. 1 year. 1 year
That's it.
of investing and dedicating yourself to making a change in your life, you will then be eligible for jobs where you're making 85K, 85K a year. Cable tech is another trade that is projected to do extremely well. No degree needed, 70K. All right. An industrial mechanic is another one. No degree. I think these top three you might need like associates, some college classes or whatever, but no formal degree needed. A solar installer. Solar installer. Guys, you looking at $70,000 a year and all you need is a high school diploma.
That's
Look
key right
up solar installer trade school. Okay? I can't imagine that it'll take you more than a couple months to get it done. And look at how fast you can spend 3 months bitching, or you can spend 3 months grinding and changing your life. You got to decide what you want to do. We can give you the information. I could lead a horse to water, but I can't make him drink. Yeah.
there.
I could give you this information all day long, and I'm hoping that giving you a little bit of this information gives you motivation to be like, "You know what? Wow, okay, I can do something different. I can do something different that'll change my life for the better. Change my life, change my kids' life for the better." Another one, real estate appraiser. Real estate appraiser. Can't imagine that certification will take you. It's like getting a driver's license. You study a little bit, you go take a test. If you were
Yeah,
able to get your driver's license, you can do these things. You can do whatever you put your mind to. That sounds so cliche, but it's real. It's real. Change your mind. Change your mind about the work you got to put in. It's mandatory. You could also become a travel notary. Okay. All of these things that you can become traded technicians in, you also can then LLC yourself and create your own business, start your own generational wealth. An electrician, okay? You go to the little school, it's a couple months, you pass your test. You could come out making a job 62K. Go work for another company, your local company that's popular, learn the ins and outs of the business, and go LLC yourself, and then go hire some electricians. Network while you're in these schools. Push each other while you're in these schools, because these are the same people where if you got the mindset to work hard and start that business, now you got your employees. Okay? And don't ever look at the next person as competition. You might be able, for example, me and Treble J, I have a huge following on social media because I'm dedicated and I'm consistent. I went to school for marketing. I've been selling hair for a long time. We talk, we bounce ideas off of each other. But guess what? I don't know how to work StreamYard. I don't know how to do the recording, and he got the interface and all of that stuff. I don't know how to do none of that. He sends me all the little clips. I show up, I talk, and I give him the little bit of tidbits that I know about business. But this man is working. Like this is his thing. This is his foundational thing. So when you in these schools, realize that the people around you are good resources. You're not gonna be good at everything. The
that's that.
CEO
Yeah,
of Capital One, Rich Fairbank, do you think he know how to run card services? Do you think he knows how to run the auto loan line of business? Do you think he knows how to run the commercial? No, no, he don't. You employ and you bring people around you who specialize naturally in those things. You work together and you become great.
yep.
Understand? We are
Definitely see
not
that.
each other's competition.
Nah,
That's not how we going to get there. That's not how we going to get there at all. And I say all of that stuff, you got to think, let's go back to inflation. You talking about these jobs, you talking about things increasing. Look at where you are now and look at your plan. And it's going to get harder for us. Things are not going to get any cheaper. Okay. Buying a house isn't going to get any easier. The average rent prices across the country is $2,000 a month, plus utilities, plus groceries, plus your car note, plus insurance. So
that's out there.
in order to survive paycheck to paycheck right now, you need to be able to afford $2,000 in rent and everything else. So take 2,000 times 3, that's 6,000. 6,000 a month after taxes. After taxes. You can do it before taxes, but it's you cutting it close. So if you're going to grow 6,000 times 12 people, if you need $6,000 a month to survive right now, that's $72,000 a year. So if you lucky and you have a partner, 30,000, 40,000, y'all good. If he making 30,000, 40,000, and she's making 30,000, 40,000, and y'all tackling these responsibilities and y'all come up with a plan, guess what, babe? I got the kids, you go to school.
Yeah, because it ain't easy to do it by yourself at all, yeah. It's definitely not.
It's not easy. It's not easy to do it by yourself, and you can, but why? You know what I mean? Like there's power in numbers, and this is why our community struggles so much because we don't understand how valuable the person sitting next to us is. We fighting each other for all the wrong reasons. We need to start fighting together. If you in a relationship right now and you got a partner and shit is hard, do me a favor. And this year, you set a goal. You set a goal to change your circumstances. And together, you come up with a plan. You come up with a plan for how you're going to get there. And then you hold each other accountable. Babe, you fucking off. You drinking too much. And don't get mad when the people around you are holding you accountable. This is in your friend groups, your relationships, and everything. You don't have to be in a relationship in your friend groups. Set a goal together. What do you want to do this year? What are y'all talking about? Like really, like what are y'all talking about when y'all sitting down and you drinking and you chilling and you eating? What are y'all talking about? Nothing. How many times you gonna talk about the football game? How many times you gonna
Oh,
talk
yeah,
about the
yeah,
basketball game?
yeah. Fact,
You know what I mean? How many times push each other, hold each other accountable. If y'all don't do nothing this year, set a goal and make a plan. And I want to hear testimonies of how many people stuck to that plan and changed their circumstances in just 1 year. In 1 year's time, I promise you that's all it takes.
and y'all gotta focus on too, man, I feel like that's vitally important of, like, having people in your circle that you can build with business wise and personal. I feel like a lot of us got a lot of friends, family members, you know what I'm saying? Where the personal stuff is always cool. We can kick it with them, like you said, watch the game, talk about life, relationships, and all that. But when it come down to it, and I realized that being in this space that I'm in now too, of understanding that you got to have people, you know what I'm saying, that's multi-skilled, you know what I'm saying, diverse in different areas because those the true friends I feel like to a degree that when you're able to build something big like monumental, you know what I'm saying, they really gonna help elevate your life. Because a lot of us got certain people that we cool with, that we associates with. I mean, everybody, man. You got people that's popular and all that, but when it come down to like the real value of your success and like the level of life that you're trying to live, especially if you got kids and you got different things too, it's very important that you got a balanced circle, you know what I'm saying, of people. And I know y'all have heard this so many times of, you know what I'm saying, who you're around is who you become. And I feel like that's an important thing. Like I stress that, you know what I'm saying, on a weekly basis. Like Adrian was saying, you know what I'm saying, we having meetings, we having conversations about a lot of stuff because I feel like we got to be able to uplift each other. And not only that, we got to have different conversations. You're right, all the cool stuff is good to have, but on top of that, what else can we do, you know what I'm saying, to, to capitalize like on life itself. You feel me? Because I'm a person that I do want to see other people, you know what I'm saying, win too as well. Like I do want to be able to share, you know what I'm saying, the resources and stuff that I got because I mean gatekeeping and certain stuff to a degree. That don't benefit nobody. If you at the top, you know what I'm saying, and like they say it's lonely at the top. Why would you want to be at the top? And you know what I'm saying, you working with other people, or you conversating, you sharing ideas, and you know what I'm saying, you leaving people behind or like low hanging fruit. Like don't nobody to a degree want to keep that type of mentality. And I feel like things is going in the direction that they're going this year, the way they're supposed to be going, because the most important part of us trying to do things collectively together and trying to build off each other, you know what I'm saying, and share our resources and certain things that we know too. It ain't gonna do nothing but help, you know what I'm saying, the entire community, get to the next level that we gotta get to without hating on each other, without feeling like, you know what I'm saying, I want to hold something against you, without, not encouraging each other. Like I say all the time to everybody on every single show that we got, man, even if you don't believe it yourself, you know what I'm saying? I believe in everybody that I'm, you know what I'm saying, creating content with, doing these shows with, period. You might not even see it until down the line, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. But at the end of the day, I feel like I make conscious decisions. And you know what I'm saying? I know the type of people that I'm involved with to that degree that I see sometimes where they don't see and they seeing they self like right now in the moment. And I feel like that's the way you gotta be like when it comes to a community. Because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, you gotta keep affirming people. You got to keep motivating people so they understand and they know that, you know what I'm saying, anything is possible. because a lot of people don't. But that's very key for y'all to understand. A lot of us dream, but a lot of us don't follow our dreams because we feel like to a degree, you know what I'm saying, they not attainable, or it's just, you know what I'm saying, it's a miracle. Everything ain't a miracle. That's the whole reason why, you know what I'm saying, creating a devoted dreamer's mindset was that you got to stay devoted to, you know what I'm saying, any dream that you got, any aspirations, any goals that you got, with the understanding that, you know what I'm saying, if you stay down and you lock in regardless, the only thing holding you back is yourself. And I feel like that's key financially, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
relationship wise, friendship, family, the whole nine. Like you got to stay focused on what the goal is, you know what I'm saying, and push through, especially financially right now, y'all. Like you can put your mind to do anything you want to do and achieve it. I don't care if you start from rock bottom, if you got the
Mhm.
resources, corporate America, you know what I'm saying. If you at a mom and pop shop, you got your own business. As long as you stand down and you letting the chips fall where they need to fall, and you being strategic about what you're doing, everybody can be, you know what I'm saying, financially free and create that. You can't lock yourself in a mindset too of thinking that finance is gonna bring you down. You feel me? Because if I feel like we made it through certain stuff, I know, you know what I'm saying, the everyday people out there can do the same thing because we the everyday people just like y'all. When you think about
Yep.
finances, game plan, be strategic. You're gonna have certain obstacles along the way. Make sure you break through them obstacles at the same time. Make the priorities the priorities. That's the one thing I can say, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to finances on a serious note. You know what I'm saying? My parents tell me this all the time, man. It's like if when you dealing with finances, the stuff that you need is the stuff that you need. The stuff that you want, that you desire to a degree while you on the grind and you building everything else up, that's the stuff you make a sacrifice. You know what I'm saying, for that you can hold off on. You gotta have somewhere to lay your head. You gotta have somewhere to get around. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a job to sustain, even as you chasing your dreams too. Like a lot of y'all gotta understand that too. If you can't fully invest in what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? And you got to be able to hold a job and do the same thing. I've done it for the longest. Like it's possible to do. Y'all got to stick to it and do that. And you got to start from wherever you got to start from. Like, you know what I'm saying? Prime example, I'm in the whole tech field now, y'all. And I've said this like plenty of times. I was never knew anything about the tech field or anything. I was a college athlete going through college thinking I was finna, you know what I'm saying, just play sports, whatever the case may be. And I had to make a complete pivot, transition into something else when I realized that to a degree that, you know what I'm saying, that wasn't what my true passion was at, or that I wasn't gonna go to that next level to a degree. But again, like I keep saying, that's a mentality. So I had to lock in. I had to go through the staffing agency a few times to try to find my way of certain stuff. I had to work from ground zero to, you know what I'm saying, being at the bottom to now being, you know what I'm saying, one of the people, like I said, that go to people's homes directly. Anything I can almost fix anything from a tech degree, you know what I'm saying, at this point, and like knowledgeable on a lot of stuff because I listened to those people that was trying to help me, you know what I'm saying, to support what I had going on. I paid attention to the trades to do a certain stuff, and like you got to be able to be, you know what I'm saying, multifaceted. And I feel like if we can do it as you know what I'm saying, regular people too, y'all can do the same thing. We ain't no better than y'all, we ain't no greater than y'all, you know what I'm saying? We not on no high horse or nothing. We just had to do the same thing to grind it out too to get where we at to a degree. And you feel what I'm saying? Just staying focused on the goal. The goal is the goal at the end of the day. Write all your goals down, tackle each goal. Don't put pressure on yourself too, like Adrian said, because just because y'all in y'all 20s, you don't have to have your shit together. Like I done made plenty of mistakes when I was in my 20s. That's the whole
Mhm.
point of living, going through life. And you know what I'm saying? As you age and you get that wisdom, wisdom don't come overnight. And to a degree, you gotta fall on your face and make certain mistakes for you to even learn and understand that, you know what I'm saying, certain things are meant to happen anyway. Because if Adrian to a degree
Mhm.
didn't go through certain struggles or certain processes to get to it, you know what I'm saying, the 6, 7 figure, you know what I'm saying, job or career that she had, you wouldn't know how to attain that. Because if you ain't went through shit and you ain't have to struggle to go through it, then how would you have the drive and ambition, you know what I'm saying, to push through on certain stuff. The same with, well, what I got going on to a degree. Everybody want to do this now. Everybody want to, you know what I'm saying, create a show. They want to do this, do an episode, but y'all don't understand the real work it take for all this. It's not just sitting on the camera talking and doing certain things. It's a lot of shit behind the scenes, edit,
Mhm.
do that. Some nights I don't sleep. I still got to get up early as hell sometimes, still go to work. I still got personal shit in my life that I still gotta, you know what I'm saying, pull together too. But the thing is, the goal is gonna be accomplished regardless. Ain't nobody stopping me from what I'm doing. I'm gonna get through what I gotta get through. The same thing financially too. Like we all gonna be financially free if you keep the right mindset, man. So you know what I'm saying? That's just that's the key thing. Don't
Absolutely.
nation and everything going on hold y'all back. Not at all.
Yeah. Do me a favor, y'all. If it was any part of this talk today that moved you, touched you, or you felt a connection with, share it. Share it. Because you don't know how helpful you can be to the next person by even connecting with the things that you're struggling with. And when you realize that we're all going through the same things,
Yeah,
you be a little bit more humble about this journey. You'll see who's around you that can offer resources and help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. So just again, do me a favor. If any of this touched you today or hit a chord, share it. Share it, share it, share it, like it, share it. And we're gonna be back. We're gonna be back with another episode of some impactful conversations. And let's not forget, guys, we are keeping it classy, casual, and
and
cool.
cool. It's the People's Pod, y'all. Casual
See ya.
conversations across the nation. Cool vibes with it.